Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 co-op video. Today we'll be looking at another post from a Chinese forum about the upcoming mutation. Average difficulty mutation. The specifics depend on the commander and strategy. If you want me to use Zeratul and blink stalkers around, then I'll say it's difficult. Mad hybrids are quite threatening in the early game because Chain of Ascension is the map where you have to quickly get rid of the hybrids. If your top bars are not ready, don't push Janara too quickly and triggering the hybrids. In particular, don't trigger the hybrids at 7 minutes when the tier 5 wave comes. The first hybrid boss spawns when you push Janara to a big ditch on the road, and the second hybrid boss spawns when Janara is near the spot where Janara turns. If you decide to wait until the hybrids spawn, don't forget that you also have to deal with an escort wave near Janara. The escort wave pushes Janara faster than the hybrids do, which I didn't know. Recommended commanders. Dahaka P2. As always, just get the 3 pack leaders. They ignore double-edged and have a lot of HP, so they're not afraid of self-destruction. Xeris intercontinental missiles can be fired wave after wave. This is my favorite commander for this mutation. Other commanders might be easier than Dahaka in the late game, but Dahaka is better than them by a lot in the early game. Stukov P3. If the enemy comp isn't favorable, you might get pressured a lot in the early game. I get 3 bunkers before I consider expanding. Apocalypse takes care of the first wave in the center. Afterwards, Alexander and Apocalypse each take care of the 7-minute bugged wave and the hybrids at 9 minutes. Things will slowly get easier in the late game as the number of bunkers you have increases. I recommend adding some tanks in the late game. Otherwise, you will waste time regrouping when mad hybrids blow up your infested marines. Abathur P2. Toxic Nest luring makes swarm hosts done. Get at most 1 Brutalist to get through the early game. It's kinda hard to use against mad hybrids. For the first 2 hybrid bosses, spawn camp the regular enemies with Toxic Nests so that 4 to 5 full biomass swarm hosts can take out the hybrids. Afterwards, just like Stukov, things will get easier as you get more swarm hosts. You can consider burrowing swarm hosts and attacking your overseer. Appendix. The spawn points for the first 3 hybrid bosses and the escorts, making things convenient for Toxic Nest spawn camping. Let's take a look. So here, first one, the escorts spawn here, and then the hybrids spawn down here. For the second one, the hybrids and the escorts spawn together on this spot. And then for the third one, this is the attack wave that goes left. The hybrid and the escorts will spawn on this spot, and then the escort waves that go to the center spawn here, and then they go down the ramp. Karax P3. Top bar is powerful enough in the early game. Don't trigger the hybrid boss before you have Purifier Beam. Because of mad hybrids, only use towers to defend your base and Janara, so don't rush your expo to prioritize your energy. Afterwards, spread ops and use top bar. Your energy is limited and you should prioritize your tech so you get more energy. For other commanders, with double-edged, you'll naturally use Dragoons. When fighting the hybrids, make some zealots or something, I don't know what this is, to get vision for solar bombardment. I'm guessing it's a phoenix. Like Karax, don't go to the mad hybrids' homes when you don't have solar bombardment unless you want to get a glorious victory with like very little supply left. Oh, so this one was edited, and then says here, P0 has Guardian Shell, so it's going to be useful for your units. P3 just acts as like a tank when you have, I guess, your shield overcharge. I have not played P0, I only play P3. Okay, Kerrigan P3. If the enemy is a ground comp, quickly get Brute Lords. Stetman P2. Lings aren't afraid of mad hybrids, but rather the AoE from self-destruction. Using P1 and massing Lings isn't really going to work. P2 is going to be a bit better. Afterwards, consider making Infestors. So this was edited as well. P2, he's going to get himself killed if he uses Egorb twice, so don't do that. And then Super Gary has 2000 HP, so he does have a lot of life. Lone Wolf, see the post from SD below. This will be in a separate guide later on. The week after is Long Range Inspiration, JD, Just Die on Temple. The week after that is Fatal Attraction, Alien Incubation, Purifier Beam on RTK. 1 month until Fear and Lava. The mutations in July are rather shite. Okay. I think it's time to take out Solarite Celestial again. Dehaka's Creeper Host should also be pretty good, right? And here Artanis kills willy-nilly. And then this is the long post on Lone Wolf, which we'll skip. Zagara is suited for the mechanisms of this mutation. With P3, the hero unit will get hurt by DE if Baneling Barrage hits buildings, but not when it hits enemies. If you aren't confident, just focus on making Hunter Killers. There are arguments for and against using Frenzy Mastery. Remove your F2 key if you use P1. Manually box Ling's Bane's Scourge into small groups. Don't attack. Right-click to move. When the group surrounds the enemy, press A. If you want to be more precise, Ling's attack move, manually control the other two. To absorb damage, consider making an extra evil to get armor upgrades against many enemy comps. You're right. The commander I recommend is Artanis, who recovers HP with double-edged. The enemy Zagara has arrived, and she doesn't treat melee and high DPS units well. Raynor, gamble for a ground comp, then you can walk over them with mines and banshees. Bunkers with marines don't resolve his low stat problem. Kerrigan, gamble for a ground comp and mass ultras. Artanis, Dragoons F2A, the advantages of having low DPS. Swan, you have to use pulse cannon against hybrids in this mutation. Towers defend Janara and the attack waves, but they might get destroyed easily. I don't know if SCVs can repair the drill fast enough for P1. The answer is yes, they can. You can watch my run, where I only use factories and drill. Zagara, P1 roll Banes over, done, but you have to split into groups. Carax, top bar isn't affected by double-edged, invincible. Nova, pick P3, keep using Sabotage Drone, blast with top bar. Pretty much don't need any units besides the Raven, which is perfect because you can spend your savings to buy the goods, referring to Airstrike, I suppose. Abathur, once you have enough swarm hosts, you win. Vorazun, not recommended. Tech and unit count both need time, and the early game on chain is rough. The second wave is T5. Han Horner, DPS is too high, resulting in regrouping of forces. Just forget about it. Stukov P3, ignores all mutators. P1 is invincible against a ground comp. Alarak, dance with Slayers. Very rough for him in this mutation. If you can't do this, sit together with Vorazun. Tychus, don't upgrade weapons and get both healers, and then you move together. The Haka, Creeper Host, delete everything. Phoenix, the moment I get Raynor's Mules is the moment when Amon dies, referring to the Rock Slapper offing himself in a few shots when he attacks. Manx, once you drop a bunker of exploding troopers, don't salvage it. Core Hall Banelings can attack from range, which is very useful. I suggest making more. Stetman, hardened shieldlings and roaches just smile and say nothing. Hey stats, hey mechanism, so basically he has OP numbers. Zeratul, you can choose to project cannons or dance with ambushers. The damage is done by the projections, so they have nothing to do with the original cannons. And that's it for this post. What advice do you have for this mutation? Comment it down below and I'll see you next time.